Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Meaningful Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Kadarius, or most people that know me know I go by as KP. I'm back again. I'm slightly better than I was a couple weeks ago. I had to take a break, and I took a break, but I also I shouldn't have went to LA and watched my team play. But I am a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fans, so I'm going to go see my team if I can. But I will say that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that because I paid for it greatly. This whole week I've been paying for it. I got back Tuesday. I didn't start feeling 50% until like today. I've been doing a whole lot of Tylenol day, and then I got another one in my room. That's the night. Trying to get through whatever's going on. I would normally just let my body fight it and everything, but because I haven't been taking care of myself by doing a lot of drinking and not a lot of sleeping, my immune system is trash. But yeah, I was sick before, and then I decided to not do a podcast after my last one because I was like, I'm sick, I'm not talking clearly, and I'm just tired when I'm doing these things. So I need to kind of like rejuvenate. And so I didn't do a podcast. Then that weekend, I still doing it because I ain't sleeping well. But then this weekend, past weekend, I went to the Eagles Chargers game, which was on Monday, but I got there Saturday, kicked it with people, and oh boy. I drank from Saturday to Tuesday when we left, and I paid for it greatly. I paid for it greatly. God, man, I mean, landed in L.A., got myself situated, bought a bottle, and then like they had these little mix packets, we can mix your own drinks. Had that first. Then I was sipping on the bottle till like 6:00. I got there at 11. I didn't start drinking until like 1 or 2. Then I sat around. I think I took a nap, and then I woke up around 6 o'clock, 7. Went to this bar down there called 33 Taps. Or Tap 33, one or two. 33 Taps or Tap 33, whichever one. Went there, met up with the homie. Got drunk. Met some random dude. Actually, I need to text that dude. I'm messing up. I need to text that dude. Got drunk down there. Freaking went to the bar, watched the fight, some good fights. I was kind of upset with the main event. Got drunk, went back to the hotel, slept. The homie came in, and the homie Fredo gets in. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do that night. We decided, hey, we're just going to go back to Tap 33 Taps. Went back there, kicked it there for a few hours, then started mobbing around. And this is all Eagles fans, so we're taking over bars wherever we go. And there's probably like 10, 12 of us, something like that. We all drinking, all this other stuff. One of my homies from that lives down in L.A. show up. He's there, and we get drunk. He goes home early because he can't really drink too much because he's driving. He goes home. We mob it around. Whew. We get back to the hotel. We drunk. We having a good ass time. Fucking go to sleep. That's what, Saturday? Sunday. What did we do Sunday? No, that's Sunday. That actually was Sunday. So next day, Monday, it's the tailgate. I'm drinking again. And I'm having a good old time outside of the tailgate. Finally, the game about to start. Getting there, the game. I am littered and litty. I am lit. I'm having a good ass time. We lose the game. We leave. I eat 3 hot dogs on our way out. I break up a fight. Whatever. I go. We get home. Wake up the next morning, gotta check out. We had bought a bottle. We had bought a bottle that we was gonna drink when we went to tailgates, but we didn't even drink that much because we had so much free alcohol when we got there from friends and people we met there and stuff like that. Um, so we ended up having to. I wasn't gonna waste the bottle, so we gonna drink with the LAX. We was sitting in the terminal, like when you get into LAX, we sitting there, sitting down in the front entryway, just killing the little packets of tequila that we poured the tequila in and the bottle, drinking it, trying to get it done before we go into the go to our board. I mean, where our plane at, get that done. I'm sauced at this point. I'm fucking loaded. Get in there, wait for the plane, eat some terrible pizza. Get home, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and everything that I had been hiding for, that I thought I was over that week, came back on me, and I was fucked up. I was sore throat, slept all day, couldn't get out the bed, and stuff like that. Um, Man, I was just out of it. Stayed in bed most of the day. Wednesday, that's Wednesday. Thursday in bed. Friday in bed. I mean, I cleaned up the house and I had some other stuff I had to do outside the house, like some meetings and stuff like that. And so I did that stuff. But I was dusted and disgusted. So today, watched a little football, relaxed. Actually had a good night of sleep. Um, I'm up now. I'm feeling better. And I said, well, fuck, I'm going to get back on. 'Cause I got to stay consistent with this podcast stuff. But I got back on, and here I am today. You know, I'm happy. My team won. Um, yeah, ain't got no complaints other than I'm doing I when I came back from that trip, I knew right then though. I was like, all right, it's time to hang up the drinking. It's time to hang that shit up for a while. Now, so I've been. It's been since Tuesday. I haven't drank anything since Tuesday, and that's kind of like a thing because I drink every day if I could. So because I guess you could say, no, I am an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic that recognizes that I'm an alcoholic. I need to change my ways. So there you go. But yeah, man. Throughout this week, though, there are some things that was going on, and there's some things I want to talk about. There's things I've seen on the internet, things I've read, and some discussions I've had with people, and I want to talk about those things. One of those things is my beef with my people. Now, I may not sound like it today, but before, when I was younger, I didn't really. I don't. Now I don't really have. I don't speak as fluent as I used to, but um, I used to pronounce every word, every syllable, every vowel, and letter in the word because I was majority of the time brought up in the decent part of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they just speak very proper up there. And I was coming from Louisiana, and I had moved. That was like '96, and I moved to Minnesota in '96. I spent a predominant part of my life in Minnesota, so I picked up on how they speak and everything. Just like how now I speak like a California dude. So, and when I moved to the South, I used to kind of like get made fun of because of how proper I talk and stuff like that. I always get made fun of my eye. That's why I wear glasses. One, because of light, and then two, I just don't like my eyes to be a distraction. But you know, um, I used to get made fun of a lot, and I've always just knew that I was like not the prototypical black person. No, I knew I wasn't. And that stuff by not being the prototypical black person is kind of like I've always questioned everything, and I couldn't. I questioned everything, and I didn't really just fall in line with whatever the going norm is. Whatever people decided, something is the way we go. And I was kind of the one that always sat back and kind of just, hold on, let me look at what we doing and what we talking about here. And that comes a little bit from my dad. My dad used to say something like, I don't like I don't like to not know what I'm talking about. And that's something that's rubbed off on me. And that also comes with the whole questioning things and everything. Like, you can't tell me something about a situation, whether we could, and this is mostly a political thing. I can't be told something about somebody or something that's going on in America without me going to do my own research about it, right? And because of that, I'm not saying I am extremely politically versed. I just know the topics that some of the hot topics I may just know a little bit more than the average person because I would go and actually do research. And I would go and do research and actually find you can't feed me headlines. I would read the headline, but then I go and do my own little investigative reporting, and I will formulate my opinion. I will formulate my opinion about whatever it is after I've done my own research. Like, you can ask me a question, and and at that moment, if I don't know nothing about it, I'll give you the answer. I really can't give you an answer, about that right now. I don't know too much. Until I give enough information to formulate my own opinion, then I will do so. But at that time, if you catching me at that time and I don't know too much about that topic, I'm not gonna answer the question. So, that being said, my beef that I have with my people is being confidently wrong. And I say that because too often I find myself as a black man getting into conversations with my people about certain situations, and they like to tell me these things about what's going on in the world, and then there's things that I know about because I'll go and do my own research about it, and I would be like, that's not true. That's not how that's going, and that's not that's not how where things are working. And I'm not going to speak on those political things that I've talked about with people. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make this a whole political podcast. Like, I might dibble dab in here if I have a guest on here and we're talking. That's where the conversation goes. We go that way. But it's just me. I'm not going to go into deep into like political views and stuff like that. But I stuff I will talk about. I would talk about stuff that, like, for example, one of the biggest things, and this comes from a conversation I had with somebody when I was out here dating. It was a black woman, and she was telling me about, we were talking about something, and we were talking about what I did for work and stuff like that, and I remember her saying something like, "Woo, I'm glad you know what your career is," and I kind of like cocking my head to the side. I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And then she was like, I meet so many men out here who don't really know what they want out of life and don't really know what they want out of their career and stuff, or striving towards anything." And I was like, I'm listening to this. She was like, and I think men need to get themselves together because women are outpacing them. And she said, women are outpacing them, and don't you know that we are the most educated group of people in America? And I chuckled because I used to watch Kevin Samuels. I've watched Kevin Samuels for a long time. I was watching him when he was out here telling niggas what they talking to niggas, and I was out here when he was talking to females. You know what I mean? But I remember that he was talking about that situation, and I heard him say something about that, and he said that women will say that as that's something to have a leg up on you, as far as because they so. And I agree with this. A lot of the time, I think a lot of women are very how would I say, they are, their accolades are very important to them, where a guy would be like, because that doesn't help me. That's not conducive to having a longevity in a relationship. That just means that you have achieved something. You're good at remembering shit, to be honest. I mean, because school is not really a skill to me. For certain things, certain topics, certain subjects. But we're not going to go in there. I know some people going to probably hit me over the head with that one. But, hey, if you got questions, hey, I got a Discord. So, it's going to be down in the links down here. But, anyways. And she said that, and I when she said that, I'm not really good at keeping my face straight when I hear something stupid. And so when she said that, I was like, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, I said respectfully, that's not true. I was like, if you look at in the statistics, yeah, and I'm a statistic guy, and then I hate when people like to throw out the fact that statistics exist and they tell you a story about the patterns of humanity. You know what I mean? And people would like to throw it out because it doesn't fit their narrative of what they're trying to speak. So I spoke to her and I was like, well, actually, you guys may be outpacing black men, but you're not the highest educated people in America. That's actually Asian women. And then it goes Asian women, Asian men, white women, white men, black women, or no, Indians, Indian women, Indian men, black black women, black men, and then other. And that's how that kind of statistic went. And I was like, at least you like you outpace, you out educated, you're out educating black men, but you're not the most educated group of people. And then if you only want to if you want to narrow that down even further, we only talking about the black community. You're not even the most educated you have the more degrees, but you also the most enrolled, and you're the most enrolled, and you're the most enrolled, but the highest percentage to not finish and to just leave school with debt and no degree. And I read this for myself. I read a few different studies about this, and when I said that to her, she like looked at me kind of crazy, and she was like, "Oh, you want Kevin Samuel dudes who watch Kevin Samuel?" I'm like, I am. And we got into that whole high value men and stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't believe into all that stuff, but there are some things that are true. I think a lot of the time, like I said, a lot of the time women think accolades are important for relationships and stuff like that. And, with that microcosm of a conversation that I've had, I don't think microcosm is the right word, but with that small anecdotal scenario that I've had with those people, with that woman, to broaden it out more, I tend to rub people the wrong way when we get into political conversations, because one, you can't just tell me something and not go research it either right when we standing, because there could be little things that we'll say, and I can get a quick little search and I can find out something about it, or I will don't have an opinion in the moment and come back to a later date and have that conversation. And that's how I base my opinions off of things. And I've said this once and I say it again, and I know I'm wrong. I know I am wrong, but I really don't care about your opinion if you ain't educated yourself on, because at that point you're just talking about your feelings. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna come at me talking about feelings, then like, if you're gonna come at me talking about feelings, your feelings are the most inconsistent thing in your life. what you feel about one thing now, you may not feel about it the same way later, and that's just something. That's just something I've I've experienced. Something I've experienced as far as like dealing with my people and everything, and I kind of ostracize myself out because I get seen as like a Trump supporter, and I'm I'm more a center. I'm more in the middle. I like things some stuff on one side, and I like things that are on the other side. But the way the political world works these days is either you're part of this gang and not that or that gang. There's no neutrals. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's no conclusions to this whole topic. I just find that I'm in odds with you know not every black person, but a lot of them. Sometimes I kind of rub them off wrong and stuff like that. Not that I lose friends or anything. It's just we know we won't talk about um, certain situations because a lot of the time I think a lot of the time they talk so confidently in the topic as they speak as if they're very versed in that conversation, like they have done their research and everything. But most of the time they just they hit the topic, they hit the headline, and they hit a bunch of buzzwords that are in there, and that's about it. But they don't really go and do no research and find out if the information is being told to you is true. So you be confidently wrong and loud. And a lot of times they be loud, confident, and wrong at the same time. Be all three of those at the same time. But that's just my opinion about that stuff, man. I don't really, you know, want to like harp on that one for too much longer. But yeah, it happens. I ain't tripping over it. So the next thing I want to talk about today is just going back to a little bit of me. A few podcasts before I was talking about all these things I was going through and everything. I'm still going through a couple other things I won't speak on right now. But one of the things I told myself, and this is not like a New Year's resolution type thing, but one of the things I'm going to start doing is I'm start challenging myself more. One of those things I'm going to challenge myself on is I'm going to start training for one of those helix, or how you pronounce those damn events where they have like the 1 kilometer run and then some pull ups and all that stuff. So that's about to start here soon. Now that I'm feeling better, I can actually go out there and do some movement, some running and stuff like that. So that's going to start up here soon. So another thing that I had started but just stopped, and I don't consider it a failure. For some of y'all might know, I used to have a t-shirt company. Y'all probably even see me wore this shirt on here a couple times, little soft goods and stuff like that. And that used to be my company. I don't think the company didn't fail. I just kind of like got tired of like not really the selling the shirts part and the whole thing. My problem was with getting stuff made because I was having a lot of problems with getting stuff made. I was like being told that like, hey, this is gonna be here at this time, but it would never be ready at that time. So there was that, and then there were things like I think I was gonna collab with this chick. I collab with the chick on that I was following on Instagram. We were supposed to do something together, and I was all hyped about doing like this picture shirt and everything. And I had got these stickers made up, and then I had sent the shirt off to get, and I sent the design off and the thing to get it made and everything. Sent the money to get it made and everything, and then the company went like bankrupt. Sent me my money back. Then I went to a different company, and they just took my money. Never gave me updates about the shirts and everything. And this is a company I worked with before, and I was just like kind of like got tired of the production side of things, so I stopped doing that. But I'm gonna bring that back. A little excited. Start running. I ain't got no ads on here, but I'm gonna start running my own ads of my own product line coming in summer 2026. You're gonna have the soft goods. You're gonna see me pop in here when I get the prototypes and the sample stuff made. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it a lot more organized this time. I might even have some like special. I'm gonna stick to capsule stuff now. I'm not about to go high fashion. I'm not gonna go streetwear. I'm just a big t-shirt and hat guy. You know what I mean? So I'm coming out with t-shirts. I put it t-shirts, t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, pullover, cardigans. I mean not cardigans, hoodies and stuff like that. Hats, um, snapbacks, fitteds, stuff like that. That's all I'm gonna be doing. I ain't been doing no extravagant stuff. This is very minimalistic type stuff because I am a very minimalistic person. So it's gonna be a whole I'm said that word a few times. Minimalistic. It's gonna be a minimalistic brand. It's gonna be a minimal brand. We're gonna have minimal pieces, capsule stuff. So that's like stuff that never goes out of style. Just t-shirts, hats, long sleeves, hoodies, stuff like that. I'm not gonna get all extravagant. I might, the designs are gonna be on point. For like the screen printed or stitched or the direct to garment stuff. That stuff is gonna be. That stuff is gonna be. That stuff is gonna be. I forgot what I was gonna say about that. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna get back. It's gonna be all nice, organized. Um, I'm looking forward to that one. What else is got? I got challenging coming up this year, so and I'm setting all these things up because I need to be. I need to challenge myself more. I've stopped doing that, and I've just became a fat, lazy bastard. Not necessarily lazy, because when I'm working at work, I'm a fucking monster. But um, I need to take work life and bring it to real work life too. But another thing I'm gonna be working on is I got the company I started with my cousin. That's coming along now too. We got most of the paperwork stuff done. Um, we got some gonna have some channels for funding and everything, and I'm looking forward to that one. Uh, you guys are gonna hear a lot of that because this whole podcast is gonna develop more into other things. I'm gonna probably this stuff probably gonna be like a weekly vlog, um, and things like that. So you're gonna have a podcast, the weekly rundown, the weekly vlog is all on this channel. When I start making some of that money, I'm gonna have somebody. I'm just gonna do all the recording. They gonna do all the editing and stuff, and handle all that stuff for them, for me. Yes. So yeah, got my business. I'm coming up. Got my first business that I'm revamping and bringing out again. I'm gonna be training for this little. I'm not gonna call it a CrossFit, but it's a fitness competition. Get myself back in shape because I'm swollen nigga, but I got a good big belly. But got that. Got my business stuff I'm working on. I want to talk about my apprenticeship, but I was told not to talk about my apprenticeship because I'm a little angry at the mugs. But anyways, we're gonna skip past that. But what else? I'm challenging myself. Those three to four. Something might come up again, but I'm just say those three to four things for sure are things that I'm going to be doing next year. And there's not no New Year's resolution things, just things that I've been wanting to do, and I'm just gonna really hit those things and lock in on those things hard next year. Well, I'm working on all of them currently, but the t-shirt company isn't starting until summer 20 summer 26. The business company, we not gonna be up and running until March. I can't really talk about what we're gonna be doing, but it's not gonna start until March. And I don't know when the next one of these competitions is going to start, but I'm training for it. So I'm doing, like, right now I've been doing a lot of stretching and everything. So getting myself limber, stretched out and everything. Do that about 30 minutes a day. But, yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm also going to be doing the podcast, being more consistent with the stuff, paying somebody to do all the editing because editing is fun but tiring at the same time. So there's that. Yeah, this is gonna be a year like taking better care of myself, not drinking so much. Try to see if I went a month without drinking before, and I had been sleeping like a baby and stuff like that. But then I regressed. And what else is I got going on? My dating life. My dating life. Dating life. I'm at the odds with my dating life because I can date. I know I can go out there and have a good time and everything. But after this last one and the one before that one, like the ones I was just kind of like talking to those women and stuff like that, I'm almost to the point where I'm just gonna be like, fuck it. I'm not gonna what the stuff I'm trying to work on now and me locking in on that stuff. I think if anybody was to come around, it'd just be a distraction with the whole trying to be in a relationship and build that relationship and everything. And I'm kind of leaning more towards just say fucking just be single all my life and just be slanging dick, and not in a toxic way. You know, I might have whoever I'm gonna be slanging dick with. It's gonna be somebody I do. I probably gotta cut that out. But whoever I'm gonna be out here bumping uglies with, uh, it's gonna be somebody consistent. But you're not gonna get like, I don't know if you're gonna get any kind of commitment out of me, like planning to be married and stuff like that. I think I'm kind of starting to get over that because I just been. I don't want to be. I don't want to have my heart broken anymore, and I don't want. Like I don't have. Like back to back, I've had women go back to their exes on me, so I don't want to be like competing with other niggas. Like if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I shouldn't be competing with other niggas and stuff like that. But you know, it happens, and I just don't want to do that shit no more. I can go out here, not compete at all, make a whole bunch of money, and just bang whatever the fuck I want to. But we'll see. I'm not really set in stone about it and everything, but we're gonna see what I'm gonna do. About that, I ain't set in stone. Another thing I want to talk about is, hey, my fucking birds are back in the win column. We beat the Raiders 31-0, put a spanking on them. And you know what's crazy about that whole win is that when we won, people were like, it's the Raiders. But when Dallas beat that team, it was like, oh, this team is back on track. They're gonna go. You know, it's or is it bias? Bias is ridiculous when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. I just don't think that those fools like the fact that we won two Super Bowls in less than 10 years. We had been to the Super Bowl twice in the last 5. And I just think that they don't like us. And I'm sorry, I'm yawning, y'all. I'm sorry. But shit, man. I hate how they kind of like talk about my quarterback. Like I'm riding with my quarterback till the wheels fall off. It's Jalen Hurts until either that man retire or he get traded to a different team. But I'm rocking with him. I don't care what's going on. I'm sticking with that dude. Everybody want to pack up and run and be done with him. I'm like, bruh, y'all are loyal. Y'all not real Eagles fans because y'all just ready to move on and think we can get one up out of here and bring in somebody else that's going to be better. Like, no, cut it out. It's not going to happen like that. Y'all don't know football. But I just hate when they get on my team and my player, you know. But for those out there, go Birds. I know some of my boys be watching my podcast and everything. But, yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if I got any other topics, man. I can't tell everything because if I tell everything, I ain't going to have nothing else to talk about in the future and all that. So I think I'm good. Man, it's gonna be a 30, 40 minute podcast, man. Oh, sorry, I got burps too. I'm so like the etiquette you supposed to have on these mics. I'm just like, bro, I'm just gonna be a real person. Like, I'm not gonna be dolled up. I wear this same hat, this same glasses, cheap old TikTok glasses. This hat I probably got from Shein, but I love the hat. But I'm gonna be a real person authentically all the time when I get on this mic and start talking. Because if I was to get on these, I've seen too often when people get on these mics, start talking, and they're trying to keep up this persona, and they kill themselves. They kill who they are as a person because they're trying to keep up this fake persona that everything is good and everything is great. You know, I just want to be natural. You know, I want people to look at me like, hey, the fool is the same person regardless. You know what I mean? And, you know, I have my flaws and stuff like that, and I'm going to show them, you know what I mean? I'm not the greatest. Like, this room, it's a little messy. I don't know if you can see. Look, I got my daughter's plushie over there. They don't live with me full time no more, so I be keeping their stuff. Just like to be still in my clothes. And I got a water bottle right there. I got my phone charger thing right there. Some work stuff. The empty tequila bottles. My very small vinyl collection. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a real Igga forever. I ain't gonna never change. That's how I plan on doing this podcast thing. You know, stuff like that, man. But yeah, man. I think I'm done. I don't think I had nothing I want to talk about. I do got other points I want to hit on, but I don't think I want to hit on them right now in this podcast. But until then, this your boy, KP. This has been the Meaningful Nonsense Podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe. Go to my Discord. Talk to me on my Discord. If you follow me on Instagram, hit me on Instagram. You know, if you got topics you want to talk about or anything, things of that nature, always feel free to hit me up. But until then, until the next time when I post another video, I'm gonna post this one later this week, and I'm probably gonna have the weekly rundown somewhere in between there. But this has been the Meaningful Nonsense Podcast. I'm Audi 5000. Peace, niggas.